Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. Enter Patty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees a bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, my God, they've killed them all. It's the story of a hurricane. And the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. But in a prison cell, the one time he could have been champion of the world. Three bodies lying there, does Patty see? And another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. Well, I didn't do it, he says, and he throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register, I hope you understand. I saw him leaving, he says, and he stops. One of us had better call up the cops. And so Petty calls the cops. And they arrive on the scene with their red lights flashing in a hot New Jersey night. Meanwhile, far away in another part of town, Reuben Carter and his couple of friends are driving around. The #1 contender for the middleweight crown had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down. Pulls him over to the side of the road, just like the time before and the time before that. In Patterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the street unless you want to draw the heat. Alfred Battle had a partner and he had a rap for the cops. Him and Arthur Dexter Bradley were just out prowling around. He said, I saw two men running out, they looked like middleweights. They jumped into a white car without a state plates. Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. The cops said, wait a minute boys, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. Though this man could hardly see, they told him he could identify the guilty man. Four months later, the ghettos are inflamed. Reuben's in South America, fighting for his name. Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game, and the cops are putting the screws to him, looking for somebody to blame. Remember that murder that you happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? Do you think you'd like to play ball with the law? Do you think it might have been that fighter that you saw running that night? Don't forget that you are white. Reuben could take a man out with just one punch, but he never did like to talk about it all that much. It's my work, he'd say, and I do it for pay. And when it's over, I'd just as soon go on my way over to some paradise where the trout streams flow and the air is nice, and ride a horse along the trail. But they took him to the jailhouse where they tried to make a man into a mouse. All of Reuben's cards were marked in advance. Trials and pixels, you never had a chance. The judge made Reuben's witnesses drunken from the slums. To the white folks who watched, he was a revolutionary bum. To the black folks, he was just a crazy nigger. No one doubted that he pulled the trigger. And though they could not produce the gun, the DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the all-white jury agreed. All the criminals in their coats and their ties are free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise, while Reuben sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell, an innocent man in a living hell. That's the story of the hurricane, but it won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been champion of the world.